Canada takes the gloves off. A bold new era in trade war with the US. For decades, the US and Canada maintained a friendly trade relationship, but a storm has recently rocked that long-standing bond. What started with President Donald Trump's sharp 25% tariffs on Canadian goods has escalated into a full-blown trade war that's shaking both nations to their core. Canada, known for its politeness and moderation, has taken the world by surprise, responding with unprecedented force and shattering its image of meekness. The battle, once centered on automotive, steel, and agricultural products, has quickly evolved. Now Canada is playing its ultimate trump card: oil, natural gas, and vital minerals that are the backbone of US industry. In a daring move, Canada is sending a clear message to Washington: if you push us, we can turn off the energy tap and cripple your economy. Trump's tariff gamble, a risky move for America. Trump's decision to slap heavy tariffs on imports from Canada has caused shockwaves. He's threatened high taxes on everything from aluminum and steel to dairy and auto parts. In retaliation, Canada has fired back with its own 25% tariffs, targeting $55 billion worth of US goods. This aggressive stance is not just a slap in the face, it's a full-on punch to America's economic gut. But the real power in Canada's hands lies in its vast energy and mineral resources. The US relies heavily on Canadian oil and natural gas for its energy needs. Any disruption in the supply chain would send shockwaves through US refineries, driving up fuel prices and triggering a crisis in key industries. The mere thought of Canada shutting off the flow of oil and gas is enough to send chills down Washington's spine. Energy leverage. Canada's nuclear option. The US has long depended on Canada for energy security, especially when it comes to crude oil and natural gas. Canada is the US's second-largest supplier of natural gas and a vital source of heavy crude oil, essential for refineries in the Midwest. Without Canada, the US would face an energy crisis, with skyrocketing fuel prices and a dramatic rise in industrial costs. Canada knows this power, and it's wielding it with precision. While turning off the oil spigot would hurt Canada in the short term, the country is signaling that it's willing to bear that pain to force Washington to back down. And if the US thinks it can simply turn elsewhere for energy, they're mistaken. Existing infrastructure is designed to work with Canadian oil, making alternatives from the Middle East or Russia far less viable. The high stakes of rare earths and strategic minerals. Canada's retaliation is not limited to energy. The country also boasts a wealth of critical minerals, including rare earths, nickel, uranium, and lithium. Key components in everything from electric vehicles to defense technologies. These minerals are essential to the US tech industry, and without them, American companies, including Tesla and major semiconductor firms, would face massive supply shortages. If Canada cuts off these mineral exports or raises tariffs on them, it could bring entire industries to their knees. The US would be left scrambling to secure alternative supplies, but with China's stranglehold on many of these resources, the situation would become dire. A multi-phase retaliation. Canada's tactical approach. Canada has announced a multi-phase retaliation plan that could escalate into a full-blown trade war. The first phase includes a 25% tariff on $30 billion worth of US goods, ranging from consumer products to industrial machinery. The second phase targets a staggering $125 billion worth of American imports, including vehicles, dairy products, and aerospace goods. This strategic, laser-focused retaliation is calculated to hit the US where it hurts the most. Canada has carefully selected products from key states with powerful lobbying interests, such as whiskey producers in Kentucky, dairy farmers in Wisconsin, and auto manufacturers in Michigan, ensuring that the tariffs cause maximum political pressure. A nation's patience runs out. For years, Canadians have been known for their calm and diplomatic approach to trade disputes. But the Trump administration's disregard for Canadian interests has pushed the country to its breaking point. The message is clear. Canada will no longer tolerate unfair treatment and will fight back with everything it has. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has made it abundantly clear, we are not against fair trade. But if we are attacked, we will respond, and respond, Canada has. With widespread public support behind its retaliatory measures, Canada is redefining the rules of the trade game. Impact on US industry. A domino effect. The impact of Canada's retaliation on U.S. industries is already being felt. The automotive sector, in particular, is facing a crisis. A significant portion of the parts that go into American cars, including electric vehicles, come from Canada. With tariffs now in place, production costs will skyrocket, driving up car prices and potentially making electric vehicles unaffordable for American consumers. Even Silicon Valley is feeling the heat, with Canadian tariffs now targeting critical tech products such as batteries and computer components. The ripple effect is vast, threatening to disrupt everything from the auto industry to the high-tech sector. A bold new diplomatic strategy. Canada takes the lead. As tensions escalate, Canada's role on the world stage is shifting. No longer a junior partner to the US, Canada is proving that it is willing to stand up for its interests, even if it means disrupting global trade. With the US distracted by its trade war with China and other global powers, Canada is positioning itself as a more flexible and strategic player, forging stronger ties with Europe, Asia, and beyond. By threatening to turn away from the US and look to other markets, Canada is sending a powerful message: we're not beholden to you anymore. The future of the US-Canada relationship. Will Trump back down? The big question now is, will the US back down, or will this trade war continue to escalate? If Trump insists on keeping the tariffs high, it could lead to higher prices for American consumers and a slowdown in the transition to electric vehicles, undermining the country's climate goals. But if the US backs down, it could damage Trump's image and weaken his negotiating position. Either way, Canada's tough stance has already shifted the balance of power in this trade war. Conclusion: a new trade reality. Canada's bold moves have sent shockwaves through the global trade landscape. The US is no longer the uncontested giant, and Canada's strength in retaliating is redefining the rules of international trade. Whether or not Canada wins this trade war is still up for debate, but one thing is clear: the balance of power is shifting, and the world is watching closely as Canada takes the lead in rewriting the future of global trade. Will the US capitulate, or will this battle rage on? Only time will tell, but Canada has made it clear: it will no longer be pushed around.